So, I just got home from going grocery shopping with the family at Walmart. Come on guys, although a lot of us won't admit it, yes, we do look at the fishing gear at Walmart. Well, it's dead of winter right now. You know what that means? It means they're putting a lot of that stuff from last year onto clearance. And some of these prices will blow your mind. I've gotten lures as cheap as 10 cents there in the off season before, especially some of that promo stuff. So let's take a look and see what I found this time. So, just walked back in the door, sat down, turned the camera on, and this is what I have from Walmart. Of course, the wife's wondering, what the heck are you doing with all this stuff? This stuff's still only like, I don't know, just less than 20 bucks for all this stuff. Well, falling all over the place. All this stuff. This is pretty cool. So, what all do I have? You know, whenever I see a good deal on Braid, I get it. Right, guys? So if you're using Braid, you know every season you pretty much got to respool all your lines. You may need to do it multiple times a year, depending on how many knots you get in it, if it gets frayed, if it's crummy stuff. Well, these here, got a bunch of them. There's spider wire, a bunch of different sizes here. There's 30-pound spider wire stealth braid. Check that out. 15-pound, 30-pound, got a few different of them. These, you know, they're regularly, you know, not cheap, right? Braids are going for like $10 to 20 bucks for a small spool. Yep, these were $3 a spool. That's stinking awesome. I mean, that's really cool. Spider wire stealth braid. Now, some of the differences in these, I got 15-pound, 30-pound. These were all $3 for, take a look at it here, 125 yards. There were some other sizes, some other poundage of these that were up to $7. It's still an awesome deal, but it was kind of weird. The smaller and larger diameters were a little bit cheaper. So the ones that I wanted, actually, $3. So there's $9 right there. That saves me a ton of money. Even if I don't use them coming up, I'm going to be able to use these in the coming years. I'm just going to keep them over here in storage and use them when I need to. Like I said, for the price of this cheap Chinese junk I'm getting, I was able to get these. You can't go wrong. Anyway, spider wire stealth braid, $3. You can't freaking beat that, right? How about this? I always use a lot of mono and fluoro for my leaders because I pretty much always use braid, right? So the Stren Super Knot. And a bunch of different types of string lines and some other lines there. Trilane. This one's 17-pound test. $1. So this stuff was on clearance for $1. So I'm sure there's a lot of stuff they're like taken out of service. You know, they're taking it out for this year. They're getting it all new packaging and what have you anyway. So $1. I'll stick this inside my my milk crate inside the car, and I'll have it there if I ever need any you know, leader material. But 17-pound, they had this from, I don't know, 8-pound up to 17-pound or something like that. Anyhow, $1. You can't go wrong with that either, right? What else do I have? I got a whole bunch of different things. This here is an Umbrella Rig storage flambeau box. This thing is pretty cool, right? This thing was like $10 originally, right? But it's for Umbrella Rig. I personally, I know Umbrella Rigs are kind of controversial. I don't use them. That being said, I do use a lot of leaders, especially when I'm going out for muskies or if I'm going out for where I'm bluefish, things like that, larger saltwater species, and I need to keep them straight so they don't kink or get curved. There you go. This thing here, Umbrella Rig. This is one of those stop rust boxes. Like I said, originally like $10. This was $1. It was only $1. By the time I got this, they were all gone anyway. So only $1. I was going to get like 3 of them. There were 3 there when I got it. I decided I only wanted 1 at the time, so I put 1 back. Then I walked away and I came back. They were all gone. So anywho, $1. You can't go wrong with that, guys. Anyway, $1. What else do I have here? You know, I like to use craws, and I'm always looking for downsized soft plastic craws. Well, these are the Arekey Salty BC Soft Craw Juniors. They're a pretty basic craw, but it's a soft plastic craw. Got them in a couple different colors here. These things are cool. These things work great. I put them on a jig head, you know, throw them, work them with on hair jigs, you name it. These things work. Craws always work, especially downsized ones when some, like your other larger craws aren't working. I like to keep a few smaller ones in there. But here are these. They're the Arekey ones. This stuff works really, really well. They're 10 packs, right? So, how much are these? 25 cents a pack. So I got 4 of them. I bought them all. Anyway, got them all. Got every one they had there, right? That's all they had. 4 or 5 packs. Bought them all. What else do I have? I've talked before about floating worms. Yeah, this is some really cheap, low-grade soft plastic for floating worms. These are Lucky Strikes. But this here, floating worm kit, 47 pieces. So you got like a dark color here. Actually, about 2 packs of them. This one's more of like a really dark black, kind of smokish kind of color. The other one's more of a natural brown. Both of them have yellow, bubblegum pink, and an orange. Also has worm hooks in them. All right, 47-piece kit here. Got 2 of them. Guess how much they were? Again, these are way on sale too. $1 a pack. $1. I mean, heck, if I never use these, I'll give them to friends. I'll donate them for door prize at a show, or who knows. I'll probably still fish them, cut them in half, make my own Ned rigs out of them. $1 for 47-piece one. They had the same things, the same type of package. They had like a curl tail and a ringworm version also. Again, I got tons of that stuff. I don't even use that stuff that often anyway, but I do use floating worms, especially around lily pads, and I make, like I said, my own Ned rigs out. $1 a pack. Come on, seriously? What else? You know I like spinnerbaits. Oh heck, there's another one of those quarter ones. Anyway, they cross. Here's another Lucky Strike. This is a spinnerbait kit. There's 4 spinnerbaits. I did one of the last videos I did was on the cheap Walmart spinnerbaits. So this one, I picked them up. They are dual-bladed spinnerbaits. Don't look quite as even as nice as those. So they're kind of crummy looking, but they've got little split-tail trailers that come with them too. So you got some white and some chartreuse. But there's 3 of them in a pack. You know, these things are cool. I love spinnerbaits. The skirts for these, honestly, they look a little bit skimpy. The skirts don't look that great on these. The skirts aren't very thick at all. They're not a whole lot of pieces of silicone in them. But then again, I can take them. If they run fairly true, I'll put a grub or some other type of trailer on it. Guess how much this was? $2, right? $2 for 3 halfway decent looking spinnerbaits, and they're not just some blob lead on the end of it. They're actually a decent looking mold for the lead head on there, and with the trailers. Can't go wrong. $2. Again, we're talking things. Most of the stuff was over $10, right? There's that one. And finally, what else did I get? Here's the same thing. It's a Lucky Strike. It's a Buzzbait kit. 15 pieces, 1/4 ounce Buzzbaits. Again with those trailers. Guess how much that was? $2. So they had spinnerbaits and Buzzbaits, so 3 packs for $2. Seriously? That's dirt cheap. They might not run totally true. I might have to tweak them and bend them a little bit. But mostly, especially the Walmart spinnerbaits and Buzzbaits, they actually do work well. Even the cheap generic ones. These, I don't know if they're totally the same manufacturer. They look a little bit different. But they may work really well. But for $2, like I said, they suck. I'll chuck them in the trash. I'll give them to somebody. Give them some kid at the boat ramp. You know, I can get them to work fairly decent. And they aren't working amazingly well. Anyway, I'll find some use for them. Okay, again, the skirts aren't really thick, so I could put the trailer on there, a grub, something like that, a frog, something like that. Run these through the lily pads, right? That stuff's cool. Run them around structure, you know, anywhere you're gonna run them. This stuff's awesome. $2, you can't go wrong, right? So all this stuff, you can do the math on it. It was super dirt cheap. I know I don't like to promote Walmart too much. You know, we're doing a lot of these Chinese videos. Most of the stuff's totally junk. But seriously, if you go to your local Walmart, check them out, especially in the off-season. Like, you know, halfway through the summer. They'll have that promo stuff they put out in the spring. Super dirt cheap promo Chinese junk. A lot of the stuff, the same stuff I've been doing these Chinese imported video products on. But you'll see those really cheap, you know, promo items in the spring going into the season. And then after about midway through the season, they put all that junk on clearance anyway. So that stuff they're pretty much clearing out. But by the end of the season, say dead of winter, after Christmas, January, February, they're trying to clean out all their stock for the previous year. Right now, it's the very beginning. It's like the first couple of days of February. They put all this stuff out there on clearance, and it was going pretty fast. But check out your local Walmart, especially in the dead of winter. Look around the end of the aisles. You will find some really good deals on some fishing stuff. Some of the stuff is junk they couldn't sell before, but some of the stuff really does work. So check out your local Walmart. As we always ask you, Be sure to subscribe to Fishyaker. You can click up here and click here at the trailer at the very end, but subscribe to Fishyaker on YouTube. Show us how much you love us. Go ahead and post up below. Let us know your comments. Let us know ideas for future videos. We also ask you to subscribe to the Fishyaker, Facebook, page. Like us on Facebook. Like the Fishing Tackle Tips page, also on Facebook. But be sure definitely to subscribe to the Fishyaker YouTube channel. We thank you for watching again. We'll catch you on the water. Tight lines.
Fishyaker.com, the original kayak rigging video series.